Hello everyone. We are going to discuss about the listening test today, and I'm going to share a few very important tips and strategies to do this test. We are also going to see the structure of the test and some best practices to get good marks. First of all, let me tell you that listening test is the test where people score very good marks in listening in general because you are not supposed to think too much. It is more about how you answer questions quickly, how you understand the accent, and how you understand the basic idea which is discussed in the listening test. First, let me give you an overview of the listening test. As you can see here, the listening test starts with some very basic questions like fill up the blanks. You have to be very careful about the number of words. As you can see, it says maximum 3 words, which means you can put 1 to 2 to 3 words in these blanks. So you would be simultaneously listening to the audio and answering the questions. So you have to be really very focused here, which is important. So after these fill up the blank, there is another set of fill up the blank questions. One thing that you have to take care of is paraphrase. Like for example, a new dash. Let's look at this question number 11 for an example. A new dash of an international sports goods company. Now a new, instead of a new, they can say something else, a modern or another new shop, you know, of an international sports goods company. So basically they will not speak the same words. Just to give you a basic idea, let me take you to the transcript of this one. So this is one good thing that you can refer to, the transcript. So like for example, if I talk about question number 11 itself, as you can see here, if you are not clear about what did they say, you can go to the transcript which is given at the back of the book. Well, most of you probably know Sports World, the branch of Danish sports goods company that opened a few years back. So the branch of Danish sports goods company, if you can see, this part is underlined. So here there is an answer. Let's try to understand what would be the answer to this one. A new dash of an international sports goods company. So what can be this? A new, so let me take you to the transcript once again if you can guess. A new dash of a sports goods company. So you can say the branch of a Danish sports goods company. The answer would be branch. Is that right? So a new branch of an international sports goods company. That's how it would be. So they will be speaking and you would be answering questions quickly. But yes, you have to take care of the paraphrase. They will not use the exact words. They would use some paraphrase of the words used here. And this is mostly the case in MCQs, where there are multiple options and you have to be careful about the message, not the individual words. So you've got these fill up the blanks. So first 16 questions gone, and after 20 questions, this is section 3. So just to give you an idea of how the sections are divided, first 10 questions were section 1, section 11 to section to question 11 to question 20 refers to section 2, and section 3 is from 21 to 30, which is MCQs. Now most of the people get confused in MCQs because they have to read the long sentences. Now it is very important to mark the keywords when you read the question. One reason why Sparrows felt happy, so my keyword is happy here, you know, happy about his marketing presentation. Was he nervous? Now he was not nervous. His style was good, his presentation was best. So there should be something which they would speak out of these. Now they would not give you so much time to read the questions, so you can just read a few of them to get an idea of what kind of questions there are, and then listen to the script very carefully. So overall there would be 4 sections, and there would be around 40 questions, not around 40 questions, precisely 40 questions, which you would get in the listening test. You're not supposed to manage time because the question paper itself will run, and the moment it is all the whole lot of audio script closes, you are supposed to finish the test paper. Yeah, so a few important things. You have to take care of paraphrase and synonyms. When something is spoken, they do not use the same words that come in the question, they paraphrase it. So you are supposed to be very careful about the paraphrase. Sometimes they speak multiple answers, which means more than one options are spoken. You are supposed to be very focused about the context, and you're supposed to select the best answer, not the right answer. There can be two right answers, but there would be one best answer which you should select. In case the audio runs off and you are not able to get the right question, please go to the next question. Please do not bother about a question which you could not answer. It is not about one or two questions, it is about the whole test paper that you should focus on. And one or two questions here and there really do not matter. What is important is that you should be maintaining right pace, and in case you are not able to get a question correctly, move on to the next one. You can come back to these questions later when they give time for you to think over and answer questions to your answer sheet. So you can keep on answering questions on the test paper itself, and later on when you get time you can transfer the questions to the answer sheet, and at that time you can make some guesses. What is an ideal way to be proficient in this test? As I said, you score very good marks, but there's a way. What I suggest is number one, take the test. After taking the test, of course, you can mark your answers. So you would get the answers at the back of the book. So mark your answers. So mark your answers. See how many of them are correct. And then read the transcript. This is a three-step process which you should follow for every test. Do the test, mark the answers, and then listen to the audio and let the transcript running. So this transcript would be running, the audio would be running, and you can run through the transcript. So you would be able to know exactly how they spoke and how the questions are arranged. As you can see in this picture right now in front of your screen, some questions are little spread out, whereas some questions are very near. So you have to maintain pace, and this you would know only when you do enough practice. That sometimes, like for example, that you are at this point and you think that the 13th question would also come very quickly because the 11th and 12th were very near, but then 13th question comes at a little later stage. So you become impatient and you think that you might have missed it. So it's very important to practice it. You will be able to gather an intuitive ability to judge if you do enough practice. And as I said, listening is more a test of your reflexes and comprehension, not just comprehension but reflexes, as in if you get acquainted to this test structure by doing a lot of practice, by doing maybe the same question one or two times or maybe three times, you would be able to understand how they arrange the whole test paper, and you would have an intuitive way of answering questions rather than going in a very naive fashion or like a beginner. So this is important that you do the same test paper at least two times. I would suggest maybe three times if you can afford that much time. It does make sense to repeat the same test paper before going to the next one, so that you understand the format of the test. Once you understand the format of the test, it becomes very easy to think like an examiner and figure out the right answer. So because this is a test where time is limited, you are supposed to know the very structure of the test. I'm repeating this fact that you have to really revise the same test twice or thrice before moving on to the next test, at least during the initial phase. When you are preparing it, do the test, mark your answers, read the transcripts, and see which particular word or phrase you could not understand. I will just take you through the transcript once again. As you can see here, some questions are very near. Look at this, 19 and 20 are very near, but then before this 18 was like this far. Now this is something which is very important. People get impatient when they are speaking all this. They think that probably 19 and 20 has also come. You'll find the same kind of structure repeating at number of places. Look at this, 25 and 26 are so near, but between 26 and 27 there is such a huge distance, which means all this script is just a script. There is no answer or there is no question related to this part. But then when we are listening to these kind of tests, it seems like probably we have missed one or two questions. So you have to, it's like dancing with a partner. You need to understand the pace of how the test paper runs so that you can match your speed accordingly. Yeah, let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, so this is something about listening test. It's at the beginning. So listening test is going to be your first test. Be really focused. Practice at least 5 to 6 tests. I mean, as much as you can. If you take two books, there would be 8 tests in them, and do these tests multiple number of times so that you get acquainted to the test structure. I always say IELTS is more a test of how much you know about IELTS than English alone. It's not a test of English per se. I've seen people with very average English scoring very good marks, and those with excellent English not doing so good. It's more about how much you know about this particular test and approach in the right fashion rather than having great English. So, great English definitely helps, but more than that, it is about how much are you acquainted with the structure of the test and the way the questions are arranged and the right strategy to answer them. All the best to you. In case you have any queries, any questions, you are most welcome to contact me. Thank you so much.